Hi, and welcome to It Figures. Tonight I am going to be reviewing The Flash from DC Collectibles. A little while ago I reviewed Arrow, the best superhero show ever put on television. And now let's take a look at the second best superhero show ever put on television. The packaging is exactly like Arrow, with artwork on one side and the other side open. On the back of the package, it shows the rest of the figures in the line. Okay, so let's open up the Flash and take a closer look at him. The one thing I mentioned with the Arrow figure is I really think it's awesome that you can see all the detail in the costume, because on the show itself, they don't really show off the costumes that much, which is kind of surprising. But now you can actually see all the detail they put into making these individual outfits. Alright, so talking about detail, let's look at the detail in this figure. Well, I can tell you it's pretty spectacular. Just like the Arrow figure, the Flash looked like he just walked right out of the TV. You can see all the detail they put into the symbol on his chest, plus all the other types of cloth they used for the outfit. I really like how they did the yellow highlights on the costume too. If you look closely at the red, there are some dark highlights, which is incredible. And check out the back detail on the costume. It's just as good as the front, if not even better. One thing I never noticed on the show were the yellow on his shoes. That's awesome. And even though he's wearing a mask over most of his face, they still really managed to capture the actor here. Being that the Flash really doesn't have any accessories himself, they gave him two separate pairs of hands. And as you can see, the great detail that even has gone into these gloves is just pretty amazing. I'd say these hands are more or less like running hands. Then you have a pair of more relaxed hands. The ones that come on the figure are balled up fists. Now let's take a look at the articulation of the Flash. We can start with his head. It is ball jointed, but however, the way they made it, it doesn't really move all that much. It does go back and forth, but it doesn't really so much go up and down. I really like how they did his shoulder joints. It looks like they're pretty much hidden within the folds of the costume. It's really nice. You have your standard elbow joint and rotation. His hands do rotate in every direction. He does also have a little bit of movement in his mid-stomach area. Not a whole lot though. His legs move back and forth and in and out. He has mid-thigh, and this is what's really cool, is his knees. And check this out. You can bend his knees, and you can keep bending his knees, and keep bending his knees until his leg goes all the way back. That is a crazy amount of articulation, and pretty painful looking. They made a great cut at his boot as well, so the articulation moves with his boot, and his feet also move in and out, but not back and forth, except by the boot. Alright, so let's bring up the old Figometer and see how the Flash stacks up. Being that the Flash is one of the best television shows on, not to mention one of the best superhero shows ever made, this figure is outstanding. From the crazy amount of detail, to all the articulation, to the amazing paint job, and even though it's red, they still managed to put a little more darker detail into the red that makes it even more awesome. Accessories, there wasn't a whole lot here except for the hands, but again, the Flash doesn't really need accessories. So in all, the Flash would get a 5 out of 5. Just a great figure. I like it as much as Arrow, or even maybe even more than Arrow, because of the crazy amount of detail in his clothes. I also love how they did the paint here. It's really inventive with the dark splotches within the red, and it makes it look fantastic. So if you like tonight's It Figures, don't forget to subscribe so I can see you next time.